Hello everyone, my name is Roya, and like a lot of people in the book community, I am really sad that Twitter has all but ceased to exist. What used to be basically the social media platform that was the most credible actual source of updates and such, to the point where books actually have been having the author's handle in the back of the book, and websites, like even government websites, have the little widget that says, here's what we've tweeted lately, blah blah blah, is now all gone. In fact, the entire reason I found out about BookTube and have this channel is because of Twitter. So anyway, I thought that I would just make this video about the books that I initially read because of Twitter. Because whoever says that social media does not sell books, which is a lot of people who say that, they're all liars. Social media absolutely sells books. So here is a series of books that that I found out about on Twitter, and it wasn't even from the author's posts at all. Firstly, where would this video be if I didn't mention The Authentics by Abdi Nazemian? This I initially found out about on Twitter because I found someone's thread about like what books they had read lately, and this happened to be on it. It automatically caught my eye because of the Iranian author's name, so I automatically checked it out. So as you guys know, if you've seen like practically any of my videos, Abdi Nazemian is one of my favorite authors ever, and his books are all really great, but this was at the time his newest book. It was his YA debut and overall only second book, and really was not very hyped at all. He's written 3 books since this one, and they're all fantastic, and they've all gotten way more hype than this one. I've definitely seen a lot more people on BookTube and other platforms talking about his books, but I really never saw this one outside of Twitter at all, and I would never have found out about it if it wasn't from somebody's tweet. So basically this book is about a Persian girl who happens to take a DNA test just for something for school. She totally expects it to say 100% Middle Eastern, because on a DNA test it just says Middle Eastern, it doesn't get specific for some reason, and it actually says 50% Middle Eastern and 50% Mexican, and so then she starts figuring out that she must have been adopted. And this book has such incredible themes about being true to yourself, and can one truly be entirely authentic? Can you really be the exact person that you are with everybody else? A lot of debut, well, technically this is not a debut, but it was a YA debut. It was the first in that category. So debut novels really do not always get a that much hype, and it is just tragic that this one did not. So it was entirely because of Twitter that I found out about it. Otherwise, I still might not know about it. Who knows? Iron Widow by Ziran J. Zhao. This is a book that I found out about on Twitter because everybody was talking about it. I really did not start seeing it on BookTube until later, or on any other platforms really, and I absolutely love this book. I read it the year after it came out, and it was my favorite read of that year. It's a really good book. It really shows a lot about how women are badass and actually are a lot stronger than they're made to seem, and all of that, and it's fantastic. Jade City by Fonda Lee. I initially found out about this from a tweet from El Maruska, who, if you don't know, they're actually not a book reviewer per se, but they've basically been a Twitter personality and like cat rescuer and overall politically savvy and very intelligent person, and I'm still forever lamenting the fact that they are no longer really posting on Twitter and have not yet really built up a presence elsewhere either, which is really sad because I really loved their content. But anyway, so the reason that they posted about this was because they were posting about about what books have clever magic systems in them, and at the time this book was really new and I really had not heard about it before, and because this is basically about people whose abilities come from their connection to jade, and they have to like wear a lot of jade stuff and everything, and it's really interesting, and there is not a lot else like it out there. And I actually completely forgot about this book. I forgot the title and everything, and I was like, what was that book that Elle was talking about? And then everyone started talking about this. Before I ever saw it on BookTube or anything, I was seeing it all over Twitter, and I eventually just had to pick it up. The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This is another book that was really making the rounds on Twitter, and the tweet that got me to read it initially was someone saying at 80% into the book, we're thinking, oh, I thought this book was supposed to be really gory and like violent or something. And then that 80% into the book, suddenly they're like, oh, this is why, basically. So it made me think, like, what is it that makes this book so gory? I want to know. It like really sparked my curiosity. Because basically this book, the author seems to always have to remind people that it's not, that the book is not YA. And I can definitely see how it might get, it has kind of the YA vibe, because it is about a young girl who goes to like a military school, etc., etc. Like it reads very YA with like a YA plot line, and so I can definitely see why the author constantly has to remind people that it's not YA, because the main reason that it's not YA is because of just the absolute gory violence that happens in the last like 20% of the book, and it's definitely a doozy. But yeah, it was literally a mention of that made me go, like, really? Like, what is it about this book that makes people, like, think it's YA, and then, like, 80% of the way in gets slapped in the face with just horribleness? And last but certainly not least, Between Wrath and Mercy by Jess Wisecup. This is, about a woman whose daughter is basically a chosen one, and her daughter gets kidnapped, so she has to turn to her old lover to help rescue her daughter, basically. And I initially found out about this, I don't even remember who tweeted it at all, but it was a tweet mentioning that this is a fantasy romance about people in their 30s, and I thought, like, oh, that sounds awesome, because even in adult fantasy, you still get a lot of protagonists who are like 25. So anyway, those are the books that I wanted to talk about in this video that I specifically found out about from Twitter, and that really sparked my interest in reading it. I really do hope that that Bluesky or something like picks up a little bit more and becomes the main hub for bookish discussions like that will like help me, you know, find out more about books and help get more books into the hands of readers and all of that, because I really was finding out about a lot of books on Twitter, and now I'm not, because I haven't been for a while, because Twitter just messed everything up and it's upsetting. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you've read any of these, let me know what your thoughts are, and if there were any books that you found out about on Twitter or something like that, if you have a story, feel free to share in the comments, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!